Hi all, welcome to Sunday Stock Talk with Rich. We are going to have a nice good old time today before the market opens on Monday. And we're going to get the ball rolling. So let me just make sure the audio is all good. And then we will proceed. Just see. The audio is all good. Okay, looks good. All right, looks like we got 7 people here. Hi Delfino. Hi Clunka. So I want to start off first by looking at futures. Then we're going to do all the chart requests. And then we're going to talk about any other stuff you guys want to talk about. We can look at some day trades. We can look at MasterCard. One is the day trades I took on last week. I think it was Monday. And we can talk about whatever you guys want to. Hey, Ken. Hey, George. All right. So we had the seminar today. So we finished day 2 of the seminar today. We were live from 1 to 3 p.m. with the team, and we went through pretty much everything. We went through trading stocks and all that. So it's been really good, but unfortunately, I haven't been able to post the pre-market plans for the futures today because I've just been busy with the seminars and everything like that. So I hope you guys understand. But that being said, the benefit of that is I'm going to be able to do the analysis live with you guys instead of having it prepared. So that way you could see everything from the top down. All right. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start everything from the top down. And I just want to double check something quickly. My phone, just make sure we're live there. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's start. So whenever I'm coming into the Sunday open, if we just want the recording, is there a discount for the seminar? I'm not sure yet, Todd, what I'm going to be doing with the recordings, just because I might do some more live sessions maybe in a few months, and if I get the recording out, it's going to take away from the live session. But DM me and we can talk about it. So every time I come to the Sunday open, the first thing that we do, and the first thing that I always do, is I have to identify the range from the previous week. Okay, so here we go to the weekly chart. Okay, so we're gonna go to the weekly chart, and we're gonna do S&P 500. We're gonna do the Nasdaq as well. Okay, so we're gonna go to the weekly chart. We're gonna hover over last week's bar. Okay, so it tells us that the high is 39.5850. I'm gonna double click on this line and adjust it 58.50 to make sure we're precise. And then we're going to look at the low as well. So the low is 37.96 and a quarter. So we're just going to go here. We're going to double click and we're just going to go 37.96 and a quarter. Okay. So then from there, we're going to go to the hourly chart. Okay. So here we go. So here is last week's range. It's a very big range. Let's see how much points the range was. So about 160 points. Okay. So this is last week's range. So now let's go to the open. So the open was the 1600 bar, which is 6 o'clock. Sorry, the 18th. Sorry, guys, the 1800 bar, which is 6 o'clock. And then we have to ask ourselves, where are we in the range? Are we inside of the range, or are we gapping up or down? Because if we gap up above the range or gap down below the range, then there's going to be trapped bulls or bears, and there's going to be a lot of momentum, right? Because someone is going to be trapped from holding over the weekend. But in this case, we are opening in the range. So whenever we're opening in, we're opening in the range and we're not even gapping. We're pretty much opening where we closed. So there's basically zero action that happened. Zero, right? So what does that mean? So what it means is we can take the Fibonacci and we can cut this range into pieces, okay, like this, okay? And what we're going to do here is we're going to have this zone right here. So I'm going to go here to this rectangle. So this whole area right here is going to be the immediate support, right? And you see how it lines up with this previous support. So if we do start pulling back, the main area we'll be looking for is right here between 382 and the 50, which lines up with a lot of support. Okay, so that is how we cut the chart into pieces using the Fibonacci. Okay, now if we that's looking at it from a bullish perspective, but let's look at it from a bearish perspective now. Let's take the Fibonacci from the top of the range to the bottom of the range like this. Okay, and you can see right here we're up against the 886 Fibonacci. Okay, so for those that are bearish, this is actually a very good opportunity. How it would look would be a short right here, stop above last week's high like that. Because this will be the last attempt. This area is the last attempt for the bears to short this market. It's the last attempt for the bears to short this market. Otherwise, we just continue to all-time highs for the bulls. Okay, so here's all-time highs. So from a risk to reward perspective, the short makes sense, right? But that depends on if you're bearish on the market or not. It depends on if you're hedging, all these type of stuff, right? So like, for example, for me, I have a lot of long positions, so I could take a short right here as a hedge. See what I mean? I could take a short right here on futures because I have a lot of other stocks that are long, and put a little bit of money in here and just say, okay, if the market does roll over, at least I'll make some money with my hedge. So that's a concept of hedging. Hi, George. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Dan. Right? So what we're going to do, so now that's pretty much where we are. We're in the range again. We're in the range. When we are in the range, it's going to take effort to break out of the range. It's going to take effort. It's not going to just break easily. It's going to take effort. There needs to be money to push through this high. And the bears are not going to give up. They're not going to give it up that easily. Okay? So what you could also do is just wait. Maybe this bar might close as an inside bar as an example, and then you can take an inside bar short, right? You can do that as well. All right. But you notice how I didn't take the opening range breakout today, or I didn't recommend it, because we are not gapping anywhere. So there's no momentum. So if I took the opening range breakout here, it's not worth it for me, just because I'm expecting it to be choppy. All right. So let's go to NQ now. So NQ is a little bit different, right? Because look at this beautiful setup here, guys. Look at this. NQ closed with an inside bar on the weekly chart. How beautiful is that? Really, really good. Look, and then let's just look in the past with NQ. Let's look at some of these inside bars. Here's one. Here's one nice short. Here's one a nice long. Another one nice long. Another one nice long. Another one nice long. Nice long. See? They're pretty good. So how you would play this one is the same thing. Let's draw the range together. So the high is 13, 11, 950. So let me just draw that. 13, 11, 950. Okay. And what is the low? 12, 283, 75. Okay. 12, 283, 75. We're going to go to the hourly chart now. Right? So it's pretty much the same thing, right? Pretty much opened where we closed. So it's pretty much the same thing as S&P 500. Right? So literally the same thing. So the biggest mistakes new traders make is they aggressively trade when we're opening within the previous week's range. And that's not a good habit, because when we're in the range, we're likely to be choppy, and you're likely to get chopped out. Okay? So how we could play this weekly inside bar is we can short below the low and we can go high above the high. Very simple. Keep it very, very simple, right? So you can have a short entry down here, a long entry up here to play the inside week. So inside weeks are very powerful. They don't really happen all that much. Like you guys seen, it's only a few times a year. So my plan to capitalize on this inside week, the plan that I have for this is trading all of these on the orange list here. So these are all of my swing trades that have already been put into my broker, and I'm planning on trading this next week. So that's how I'm going to take advantage. Instead of taking the index, I'm going to do it through stocks. And I'm going to spread it out through different names. All right. So all of these tickers are in the private room already posted, and we're ready to go next week. All right. So there we go. So that's the analysis on futures. That's how you do your analysis. You start off by drawing the range. You cut the range up with Fibonacci, and then you use different tools like the fibs or the inside bars or the opening range breakout. But particularly today, I wouldn't, because there's no gap. But you use those tools to help you take the right trades, right? Okay. So next on the list is chart requests. I want to do chart requests with you guys, and just whatever questions you guys have, feel free to just post them in the chat, or if you have other requests, other tickers, just throw them in the chat. We'll start going through them. So Mr. Scar he's in the private room, and he's asking about Disney. So I'll talk about it. So let me just hide this, because these are all the different setups, but let me just remove these. Oops. Okay. So let me just remove this for now. So the way that Disney had played out, the first setup that came to my attention with Disney started from the monthly chart. Okay. And it was this inside bar. You see how this inside bar had a wick at the bottom, and also the preceding bar, the ignition bar, that's what I call it, the ignition bar, was a big bullish bar breaking into new all-time highs, right? So the first setup that I played on Disney was just going long on the monthly chart, and that already produced a winner. So that was a good winner. And then from there, went down to the weekly, and I started finding some other inside bar plays. Okay, we had this double inside bar pattern first, which produced a little bit of profit, not much. And then now we are in this one. So this next inside bar play, we're long in this one. So it's hard to tell right now if Disney is going to continue higher or lower. But the main thing is we already made money on the monthly chart. And then if it does turn around, we'll have to take a stop loss, but that's okay, because we already made money on the first try. Haven't traded Riot much, but with bit running, can you pull it up? Sure. Right. So with Disney, right, we're still, if you notice something about Disney too, guys, it has relative strength, right? When the market was tanking and tech was getting hit and other stocks were getting hit, Disney was still hovering near its all-time highs. So I'm hoping that Disney can just continue to squeeze higher, and we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm positioned well on the monthly chart, on the weekly chart, to take as much profits as I can. All right. So let's look at Riot. Okay. So let me pull back up my drawing before I forget. There we go. So Riot. So we played this ticker a few times, I believe, right? So this was the original signal on Riot right here on the 8th of March, which I gave last week, right? This inside bar signal, this was the signal to, if it broke to the upside, to go long. So we already took advantage of this play, right? And that produced, good 60% return. Okay. So that one it was already in play. Right now, it does look very bullish on the weekly chart here. So as long as this low of 37.62, as long as this area can hold, expect to continue this momentum higher and potentially push through all-time highs. Watching ABBV as an inside week play. ABBV. Yeah, looks good. So remember, this one was one of the hot ones we had with the triple inside bar, and then it broke out. Right, so it had a little breakout here, and then one of our traders made double or triple on this with options, and now it's coming back in again. So it's a lot of consolidation happening in this ticker, And eventually when it goes, like when it really, really wants to go, it's going to go. It could be either way. It could be either way. So the way to play this coming into next week is just bracket this bar. If it breaks to the upside, go long. If it breaks to the downside, go short. You know, just play the inside bar as is. Okay. So you, Sharon, yeah, nice. Nice. We talked about this one, right? So we pulled back and now we have a nice inside bar. Look how nice that is. And we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red bars in a row. So definitely it's trying to make a push a little pop higher. Definitely it's attempting it, right? But now if we think about it from the other side, if we come down here now, then we're actually in a lot of trouble potentially if we start to break these lows. So just definitely keep an eye on this and keep the range on your chart, and you can set alerts on both sides to see how you want to play it, right? So let's look at open. Another nice one, Open Door Technology, same thing, right? So same play here, right? We had some nice inside bars in the past, like here, right? Even this short, right? Even that long. So it depends on which direction you want to play some of these, but definitely great setups, all great setups. Thanks for sharing, Sharon. Sharon, that's your new name. You love to share. Look at these. Look at these inside bars, guys. Don't underestimate the power of this. All right. I like this one a lot because this looks like a bear trap to me. So this one to the upside looks very powerful because we had selling and immediately turned around. You see these two wicks? This is sellers right here in this zone. So from the 72.50 down to 63s, this whole area was shorts, and there are some more over here. So definitely if this thing gets going upside, we could squeeze these wicks. And then if we squeeze these wicks, things can get explosive. So let's keep an eye on that for next time. Okay, Sharon? So next time, bring it up again and next week, and then we'll look at it together, see how it played out. I love when you guys share your picks and then we see how they play out, right? It's fun. So Matt has PLTR. Matt's also in the room. We're not taking anything on PLTR right now, but what I do like from PLTR here is, you see this here, guys? We had this big push. Let me remove my drawings. Okay, let's start from the very beginning. We had this big push. Okay, so we draw the fib of everything. Okay, so we had this big impulsive leg, and now we're pulled back right to the 618, and this is why we hold. This is why this area is holding. This is the 618. Okay, and now we had a hammer bar, nice hammer bar on the weekly, and then another follow through bar. So you know, PLTR is trying to make a stand here and push. If we do break this wick to the downside, though, expect more selling. Okay. So Sharon has XPEV. So let's just look at these real quick. XPEV. Yep, same thing here. Right. So bracket this. Right. That's how I would play it. CCIV. Yep. So some of these are definitely like higher risk trades, right? They're higher risk instruments. And personally, like in the swing room and stuff, I stay away from like the very, very high risk stuff. I rather trade the blue chips just because I don't want to get trapped into anything that I don't want to be in, right? So these ones, they're high risk, high reward, right? Churchill Capital. But if you hit a few of them, you can make good money, right? So just make sure you're managing your risk along the way. Okay, AMD, Microsoft, Apple. Okay, let's see what we got here. AMD. Yep, so AMD has been going on for a while. We've spoken about this one many times. And we had this kind of flag here that I had drawn. But what I'm seeing now is more of a triple bottom pattern. So let's draw that. Okay. So from here to down to here. This zone has been an area of support that's been tested multiple times. 1, 2, now the third time. So this is a major pivot for the bulls. They want to hold this, and you can see that they're defending it, right? They're defending it. So now, as long as this support can hold, we will grind a little bit higher. Could be new all-time high, could just be a little bit higher and then a rollover. That's possible. But definitely just keep your eyes on this zone here. So about $73.80 to $76. Right? So just keep your eye on that support zone. So Microsoft and Apple. Microsoft, yeah. I like Microsoft a lot. I've been in it for a long time. It's one of my largest holdings in my long-term portfolio. One thing I noticed about Microsoft is when tech was selling off hard, some names got hit really hard, but Microsoft is still, it's still very close to all-time highs. So it's showing relative strength. And if tech can start rebounding, look for Microsoft to lead the way. Let's get Apple. Do you see the difference here, guys? This is the concept of relative strength. Okay. This is the concept of relative strength. So Microsoft is up here near all-time highs. Apple had a lot of selling. So that's what we call relative strength. So what that leads us to believe is if the market and NQ starts to turn around, Microsoft will be one of the leaders. So if you're playing bullish, that's one of the ideas that you should have in your head, right? So now let's look at Apple. Let's draw the fib from this low to high. So you see that how we've been hugging the 618. So the 618, there are buyers here. They're trying. So they need to turn around and break through this high and then start making that base or just start making that V bottom. So that's what the bulls need to do. If we start coming lower, we're probably going to retest these lows at $100, $103 right here. Okay, so let's finish the Twitter picks, and then we're going to look at Chewy, BA, and Viacom. So FUV, CCIV, FUV. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful, right? Look at that. So what are we looking at here? Well, we had this company that was just pretty much doing nothing for a few years, right? And then it gets momentum. Huge momentum. We have these pushes. And usually when we get up here, so this is a textbook parabolic move, right? It's a parabolic move. So how do you know it's a parabolic move? Well, it's when it starts making, I wonder if I could draw it. See if I could draw with this brush. Try it. So parabolic move is when we basically start going vertical. Okay. So let's start from here. Let's draw this. Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad, man. Curve. Here we go. There we go. See that? Technology. See that? That's a parabolic move. Okay. It's when we start going vertical. And when we go vertical, let me tell you something. It doesn't end well. 90% of the time, it never ends well when we go vertical because it's a mixture of greed and manipulation. So I've seen this chart many times in the Tilrays and the CGCs, all the fun stuff, right? So when you notice something is going vertical, right? When you know something is going vertical, you better be in protection mode. And what was the best way to protect on this one? Well, look, here's your good old inside bar right here. So when you're going vertical here, you trail right on that inside bar to protect yourself, and you protect yourself, right? Yep. Usually a run up really fast usually is a run back down real fast. Okay. So we identified that we had a parabolic move. Okay. Let's draw a fib. Take it from this anchor. Okay. So pretty close to the 786. It looks like there was a front running here. So it looks like some algos are front running it a bit. But normally when we have a parabolic move, what we can see is when we do crash, we can maybe have one more leg up. So if you're playing this, you're playing it with the idea that we can have one more leg up, right? One more leg up. So how do you play it? Bracket the inside bar to the upside like that. Or if we turn over, you can bracket it to the downside. And that could get really nasty. Then we can start coming back down to the $2 area, which would be pretty crazy, right? So the great thing about the inside bar is it gives you an objective way to trade Breaks to the upside, go long. Breaks to the downside, go short. It doesn't get better than that. Absolutely beautiful. Like this one right here, look. So you had an inside bar here. So, okay, it doesn't break the high, but it breaks the low. Short, boom, nice, right? We could probably build a strategy together, which we would look for parabolic moves like this, and then look for inside bar closes and short it. We could probably make a shit ton of money. So that's an idea, guys. That's a trading system right there. All right. So you guys are getting smarter every week. You guys are coming to me with all the inside bars now. I don't even need to explain it. So we did Churchill Capital, right? Did we do RTK? We did that one, right? Okay. RTK? Or is it RKT? RTK. What is this? I don't think this is the one you're looking at because this is some MOX. I think you meant to say rocket, right? I think you meant to say that. So look at this. This is funny. I wonder if that's a glitch. Nope, definitely not a glitch. So that is some insane selling right here. But guess what? Got that nice inside bar right here as well. So same type of setup. Bracket to the upside, bracket to the downside. See what we can get, right? See what we can get. These kind of stickers, guys, I wouldn't play them. I just wouldn't do it. Only if it's a day trade. But for a swing trade, I would not play it. I would not want to be holding the bag with a big gap. Right? So we have DMTK. DMTK. Nice inside bar here. The only thing that I don't like about this is that we had a few inside bars before and it's getting really trappy and choppy here. So you might take it and it might not be successful. But look at this beautiful one up here. Look at that. Take that short. Wham. Beautiful. So definitely a little bit weird though here. You see we had a few signals and it's just kind of chopping around. So it seems to me that it's starting to consolidate here. So you have to be just a little bit careful if you do take the inside bar that you might get chopped out. All right. PRTS. PRTS. Nice double inside week. Car parts, right? Nice double inside week right here. So this is a beautiful pattern right here. So when you have a double inside week, you know that, okay, at least I'm coming after the consolidation has already happened. So look here. Here was the last time we had a double inside week on parts. And look what happened after that. Beautiful, right? Look at that. See what that percentage is. Oh, close to 40%. So definitely this is a very good setup here. The break to the downside or to the upside, either one would be a great play. Thanks for, guys, thanks for bringing these charts, man. I love it. I love it. You guys, telling you guys are getting better every week. You guys not going to need me anymore. So crude oil. Why do I have different color lines here? CLF is crude oil, right? I'm assuming. I think so. Yeah, so I don't really see anything I'm interested in here. It is it's almost approaching that parabolic stage. I don't really like the last time we had, look at this. The last time we had good signals were right here. Look at this double inside bar, guys. Bam, bam, bam. Look at that. Another one. Bam. Look, another one. Bam. Right? Look at this one. Boom. So pretty good, but I don't really see a technical pattern that I'll be interested in. PACB. PACB. These are the biotech, same thing. So a lot of stocks right now are showing this pattern where we had a push up, a pull back to the 20 EMA and an inside bar, right? A lot of them are showing this pattern. So if we break to the upside or to the downside, it's going to be very important. Very, very important. But this is actually a textbook pullback pattern. right? We have a push up, a pullback, and then another leg. That's what we want to see. But if it doesn't happen, we have to adjust, right? Because anything can happen. NVTA, let's see what this is. Nice. See, you see what I like about these symbols is that they were at all-time highs and then they pulled back. So that shows me that there's relative strength because they were already in a big uptrend. So it's reasonable to continue to go long because we've already been in a major uptrend already. So there are buyers. There are buyers that are waiting for it to dollar cost average and get a better cost. And they already did right here. So let's take a fib from this gap. Okay. So another 786 play, right? So there were robots there for sure. ENPH. That's the same thing. So yeah, again, so all of these tickers, the good thing, right, is they were on a big run and then they pulled back, right? So whenever you see something like that, it gives you confidence like, okay, we were on a big run, we pulled back, so now we can continue higher, right? And we have the signal, we have the inside bar. So if you're wrong, it's okay. You'll get stopped out right down here somewhere or up here somewhere, and you just lose a little bit of money. But if you're right, what's your potential? Well, your potential is to break here in this zone and then continue higher, potentially break through all-time highs and continue to squeeze higher. So your risk to reward is really, really good. And that's all we can do as traders, right? Our job as traders to manage the risk to reward. And we don't know if it's going to be right or wrong. Same thing here. So same play here. It's the same concept. All right. So that's it for Twitter. And we had Neil from Rizwan. Yep. So it's literally, you see guys how everything is pretty much the same pattern. Push to all-time highs, pull back. Some pulled back deep, some pulled back right to the mid band. But basically the same concept. If we start breaking through these highs, then we want to see a push back up into this zone. And there will be another attempt by the shorts here. There will be, okay? So let's break it down from the fib perspective, okay? So let's just say, I wish I could draw. I'm gonna try to draw. So let's say we break this high and then we put in a candle like this. Oh my God, that's horrible. Let's do this. So let's say we break this high, put in a candle like this, okay? Okay. So everybody's going to be, very bullish. Everything looks good. But just remember this. The shorts that shorted at all-time highs, there is going to be another attempt. And it's going to line up with one of these fibs. Most likely the 618. If things get really bullish, the 786 area will be the other attempt. Okay? So don't be surprised if we get something like this, right? And then we start pulling back down. Don't be surprised if this can happen. Something like this can happen. Okay? Or if the market gets really bullish, everything gets really bullish, then we continue like this. Okay? But the main thing is, if you take that inside bar right here, you have a good risk to reward. So if you get up here, that's easily 3 or 4 times your money right there, right? You put $1,000 risk, that's easily $4,000 right here. If you're wrong, you lose $1,000, big deal. Okay? So that's what I think about NEO. Same, it's literally, I went through like maybe 200 or 300 charts, legitimately the same patterns in most of them. Okay. So let's see, we have, is it NVTA or is that NVIDIA? Is that supposed to be NVIDIA? Or is it supposed to be this one? Let me know, Sharon, which one you're referring to. So we got CELH. Yeah, so see guys, it's legitimately the same pattern everywhere in the market, right? So the analysis stays the same. And then let's look at Baidu. right? So see, so it's all the same, guys. New all-time highs and pullback. So the big question is, when we break this range, are we gonna go to all-time highs again, or are we gonna sell off? Hey Rizwan, we did AMD. I'll just do it really quickly again for you. So we were just talking about with AMD that we had this multi-touch point support. So it's formed as a double bottom before, and we're back here again. So this area right here, this support level, needs to hold for the bulls to continue. All right. So I just want to throw in MasterCard here for. Just want to throw this in for you guys. Just want to talk about the day trade that I took, in case any of you want to. Yes, Tesla, I'm going to get to that. Actually, let's do Tesla right now, and then I'll do MasterCard. So Tesla. Yep. So Tesla, Wes, I think you just joined the room, right? So Tesla is one of the trades that we are planning to take next week. So you can check out the analysis in the room. I've already posted it there. All right. So I wanted to look at MasterCard with you guys. I just wanted to talk to you guys about like some of the day trading techniques. Okay. So on the 11th of March, I traded MasterCard. And if we go to the daily chart, okay, we could see that I traded it on the 11th because the 10th was an inside day. Okay. So how do we trade that? Okay. So what I did was I took the high of the 10th and the low of the 10th, and then we gapped up above the high. So the first play was I took a Fibonacci for the gap fill. Okay. And I went long right in this zone, 618, had my stop below the 886. So it came very close to stopping me out, but it didn't. And it turned around, had a good push up here into a new high, made some money on MasterCard. And then the beautiful pattern showed up. So you remember how we saw a lot of double inside bars on the weekly? Well, look, here it is on a 5-minute chart as well, guys. Beautiful. Just calling your name. Okay. So what do we do? Long, stop. At the very high, we got close to 4, let's just call it 5, just to make the math easy. So if we got 5 times our money here, put in $1,000 risk here, that's 5,000. And I wanted to show you guys this because I was talking about it today in the seminar. We went through a lot of examples, and I just wanted to show you guys like what you see on the weekly charts, the inside bars, the same thing is happening on the 5-minute chart. The only difference is on the weekly chart, there's a lot more volume. There's a lot more cash involved. There's a lot more institutions involved. Okay. All right. So do you guys have any more requests or any questions about anything? Anything you want to talk about? Maybe some day trades that you want me to look at and give you some opinions on how you could have done better or whatever. Let me know if there's anything in there. But if there is nothing else, pretty light day. It's only been 40 minutes. Normally we go for about an hour or so. But I know that you guys probably have better things to do on Sunday anyways. But the other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about was just the free strategies that I have. I just want you guys to make sure that you're watching the videos in Trading War Scanner here so that you can learn some of the free strategies. Then you could use it tomorrow, for example, right? Don't go into the market blind. I've created these strategies for you guys to use for free. Okay. So here's opening range breakout. Here's the inside bars, Fibonacci legs, reversal, etc. This Fibonacci legs here, the complete guide is in my book because it's just too much. It's too much for me to just talk on YouTube about. The orb is the easiest one, right? Inside bars are pretty easy as well. The reversal is a Fibonacci type of reversal. But all of these here, guys, I've back tested it for you. I've already done all the work. I know they work. All right. So please do check these out. Chewy. Yes. Thank you. Forgot about Chewy. So I have a good story about Chewy. Thanks for bringing it up. So let's see. Okay. So we took Chewy back on the 1st of February. So this week, this one right here, this inside bar. And this is when the market was very, very bullish. So I'm going to share a good story with you guys about protecting your profits. Okay. So back, let's hit the replay. Okay. Let's hit the replay. So let's do a deep dive. Let's do a deep dive together. We look at this chart together. We see a nice inside bar, and we see 1, 2, 3, and a 4th wick up in this area. So we see 4 wicks. We know there were a lot of shorts. So what I did was I decided that I'm going to go long on Chewy. Okay. Had my stop loss somewhere in the middle of the candle. Okay. I have to actually check to find the exact numbers, but it was somewhere in the middle. And let's hit play. So hit it forward. Okay. So first Chewy came like that. So I got filled, and then it looked kind of scary because it looked like it was going to come and stop me out. Then the next week, oh, well, I guess it's okay. Yeah. So it's playing live basically, right? So then it looked like I was going to get stopped out, and then I was saved. So my stop loss was in a good place, right? So what I did with Chewy, so you see here, guys, right here at 1. So 1 to 1, took some off, and then 1.5, I took some off. Okay. And at this point, I was like telling myself, like, man, maybe I shouldn't take anything off. Like maybe I should just hold Chewy for longer because I really believed in the company and everything, right? Like my emotions is telling me that. Like, how can you go wrong? It's a pet company, blah, blah, blah. And I've been seeing their ads and all that. So I was like, these guys are doing good things. So my mind was telling me, just forget about taking off your profits and just hold the damn thing. But my system, okay, my system says when I get to 1 to 1, I need to scale somehow. When I get to 1.5, I need to scale somehow. So I followed my rules. And then look what happens next, right? So just hit the fast forward, boom, right? So big sell off, right? So I was able to lock in most of my profits before the big sell came. And that's how you do it, guys. That's why you have a system. Because it's not about what your mind or your emotions are telling you. It's about what your system tells you is going to actually make you the most money. All right. So does that make sense? So what I'm trying to illustrate there, guys, is when we trade, we need to get the human emotion part out of it. Normally, it never works. Emotions don't work well with math. We should make a quote of that. Emotions don't work well with math. So let's just do CLX for George here. Clorox, right? So I don't see like anything particular. Like I don't see an inside bar or anything. I see a nasty selling wick up here. So there was a little, like you could see these in Clorox every now and then. So definitely looks like some manipulation is going. If we take the fib from the lowest point up, we could see we're sitting on the 618. Okay, so that's actually a good buying opportunity. You could already see that there's been some buying already. Will it hold? We don't know, right? But if you were trading this like a pro, should have already been in here on the 618 already and already made some money, right? So with the fibs, you want to anticipate before it gets there and take plays that way. How about the high of day and low of day in the RTH session? I saw that you used it on 312. Is that for MasterCard? Are you talking about MasterCard there? Oh, no. These lines are just from the 10th. After I took my day trade on MasterCard this day, I was done. I didn't trade the 12th. I actually had a portion of MasterCard. So after I took the play here long and we got up here, I moved my stop loss to break even on the rest of it. And by the end of the day, I got tagged out for break even. SPY and MES. How about the high of the day and low of the day in the RTH session? Saw that you use it on 312. Yeah, so that's for day trading. That's for day trading. I use the RTH high and low for day trading. And SPY or MES, I day trade those every day. I have different techniques for different days. Depends on the open. Rich, are we seeing rotations in XLRE and XLU? XLRE. Yeah, so I don't know about this sector. I don't really watch real estate, but definitely there's been money flowing out of tech. And I've seen it mostly in the finance sector, like going into like TDs and MasterCard's Visa and all that. But this chart does look kind of prime for a breakout, but I don't follow real estate enough to comment on that. So I wouldn't know. Fast and FUV, fast. Yeah, so that's a nice one right there. See that? So this one also is at a previous support right here. So same thing, just gonna bracket it and play it. Right, FUV. Yeah, so we went through this one already, George. That parabolic move, that sell off, that pullback. And then if you wanna, Rizwan saying, anyone know how to set up the indicator? So in TOS, I don't know about TOS. I'm not sure how to do the inside bar indicator in TOS, but I'm pretty sure you could find it online. You got to just do some research on it. You'll find it. All right. Well, otherwise than that, guys, it's been my pleasure as always. It's been fun. We went through a lot of charts. As we can see, the market is setting up for something. We have consolidation in NQ. That's why we had that inside bar close, right? Don't forget about this inside bar close. We're going to come back to this next week. Okay. So we had that inside bar close on NQ. The market is setting up for something. It could either be a big push up or it could be a big push down, where we're not sure at this point, but it doesn't matter where it goes because we have stop losses to protect us. We don't gamble in the market. We don't do that. We come here, we treat it as a business. All right. So thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Ward. Thank you, everybody. George, Rizwan, Macnocrat, Dan. Thank you. Thanks for spending some time with me today. And looking forward to Monday. And let's go ahead and let's make some money again this week. All right. Take care, guys.